Hi there, I'm Yudhika Sujanani and welcome to Sugar and Spice. On my menu today is a Persian roast chicken and a date and pecan cake. So I'm just using those Arabic influences to create my meal. Now I'm going to start with the chicken. So I've got a whole chicken here and I'm going to flatty this chicken and then prepare the marinade. The first thing you need to do is press down on the breastbone to break that bone so you can get a completely flat chicken. Turn it over and using poultry shears, you're just going to cut through either side of the backbone and remove that backbone. So I've just flattened the chicken, I've removed the backbone, and now I'm just going to trim off the wing tips, like so. And now I'm going to prepare the marinade. The first ingredient we're going to use is some olive oil. About 50 ml of olive oil going in over the chicken. And then some fresh thyme. About a teaspoon of salt going in. Coarse salt, you always tend to use a little less than normal. Okay, black pepper, a good sprinkling of black pepper. Now the secret ingredient to this is onion juice. So the juice of 2 onions, just grate them, squeeze out the moisture, throw away the pulp, and pour the onion juice over the chicken. Now that juice browns up and gives the chicken a lovely flavor. Pomegranate molasses, about 30 ml, 2 tablespoons, or pomegranate concentrate going in. Looks a bit like cough syrup, but it is very, very delicious. Garlic going in now. And then some yogurt, about 60 ml of yogurt going in. The juice of 2 lemons and just rub them against the board so you get lots of juice out of them. If you also leave them in the sun for a while before you squeeze them, they're way more easier to juice. Squeeze these over the chicken. So, now another exotic ingredient used in Persian food is saffron. And here it is. It's pretty expensive, but it adds a beautiful aroma, and it's really an exotic spice. So I'm going to use some saffron strands. And I cheat a bit. I'm going to pop this into the microwave for 30 seconds. The saffron's been warmed through, just using my fingertips to crumble it gently. And I know warming saffron in a microwave is not really the traditional way of doing it, but it's how I do it in my kitchen. So now I'm going to add some water from my AMC kettle. And you're just going to leave the saffron. You can see it's already a beautiful bright yellow. I'm going to let that infuse for a few minutes and then add it to the marinade. I'm going to add the saffron now to the chicken marinade. It's got a beautiful, beautiful color. And I'm going to add the strands as well. Now I'm going to mix all these ingredients together to coat the chicken. So I'm just going to smear this paste and these ingredients together and just rub it gently over the chicken. Now the good thing about cutting out the backbone of the chicken when you're doing a flatty is you leave the skin over the breast intact, so when you roast it, all the moisture is going to be trapped under the skin. Well, that looks like a pretty perfect chicken to me. I'm going to pop this into the oven now for about 50 to 60 minutes. And now for the date and pecan cake. I've got some butter here that I've already started creaming, about 320 grams of butter. And I'm going to cream that first and then add the sugar. In goes the sugar. while that's creaming, I'm just going to grab a pot, an AMC pot, and pop some orange juice into that. And the dates as well. These are chopped dates going in here. About 150 grams, which is about a cup of dates. Just going to heat this orange juice up on the stove with the dates in. Butter and sugar's ready. And now we're going to add the eggs in one at a time. A teaspoon of flour as you go along. And this is, we're using self-raising flour that's going to be going in next. Now scrape the sides of the bowl and just get all that mixture down to the bottom. And now adding flour. Right, this is self-raising flour, about 2 cups. So mix that flour in. I would add it in 2 goes, and you're going to add the milk next. This is milk at room temperature. Just remember, all your ingredients should be at room temperature when you're baking. It's just so much easier to work with and gives you a better result. Next, in goes the flour. I find baking really therapeutic, especially if you're having a bad day. There's something very comforting about baking a wonderful cake. Next, in goes 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and then 2 teaspoons of nutmeg as well. Quite a lovely spicy cake, and it makes your home smell absolutely fantastic. All those delicious spicy aromas waft through your home when you make this. Next, in goes some chopped pecans, about 200 mils, it's less than a cup going in. To add a lovely nutty crunch to this cake. And then in goes the orange juice with the dates. Believe it or not, they just need to stand in that warm AMC pan for a bit and warm up slightly. You don't want them too hot, otherwise they'd melt the butter in your batter. Okay, now that batter looks lovely and it's well mixed, and I'm going to pop this into a prepared 25 centimeter cake tin. It's already been lined and it's greased. It's a very big, heavy sort of cake. So we're going to bake this at 170 degrees, so oven should be preheated. You're just going to smooth that lovely batter around the tin. Okay, just bang the tin to level out the cake batter. Next, tin foil. Now this cake takes an hour to bake, so I'm just going to cover it with some tin foil to prevent it from becoming a bit too brown. So very loosely, just wrap some tin foil around the edge of the cake tin. Now let's pop this cake into the oven for about 60 minutes. This cake's been out the oven and I've left it in the tin for about 10 minutes, and now I'm going to turn it out. And there you go. And next, a good dusting with icing sugar. I'm just going to pop that like so. About 2 tablespoons of icing sugar going in. And just give it a heavy dusting of icing sugar. And now a good sprinkling of cinnamon as well. That aroma is amazing. And now to slice this cake. It's quite a firm cake, quite a heavy cake. You can have it almost on its own, just with this cup of tea. I'm going to pop this onto a little side plate. And here we go. That's the date and pecan cake. Chicken's been roasting for about 35 to 40 minutes. I'm going to add a few more ingredients, so I'm just going to get it out the oven again. Just going to add some chopped shallots. You can also use some quartered onions or whole baby onions if you like as well. That's going to go in there. And next, some tomatoes. Quite like a different variety of tomatoes, some yellow, some red, and vine tomatoes work quite nicely in this dish as well. I'm just halving these tomatoes and adding them to the chicken. I think this tomatoes thick enough, that marinade. I'm going to do a little drizzle of pomegranate over as well, over the tomatoes. There's still a bit of marinade in here. You can also add some chicken stock if you like to make it a bit more saucy. I'm going to pop these back into the oven now. I'm just going to chop up some chives and sprinkle them over the chicken. Ooh, you're going to have to chop really slowly. They seem to be jumping all over the show. And there in goes the fresh chives. I have to force myself to try different herbs because coriander really is my favorite, but I quite enjoy chives from time to time as well. And there you have it, the Persian chicken and the date and pecan cake. AMC is giving away this paella pot valued at 3,000 Rand. To win one of these fantastic giveaways, go to www.saffrontv.co.za. Spar is giving away 5 1,000 Rand shopping vouchers. To win one of these vouchers, go to www.saffrontv.co.za. Carry Me Home is giving away a fabulous KitchenAid blender valued at 3,000 Rand. For more details, log on to www.saffrontv.co.za.
Whirlpool is giving away this fantastic Jet Chef microwave oven. To win this exclusive giveaway, go to www.saffrontv.co.za.